Before the alphabet, before iron, before war, before kings and borders and myths of separation, there was only breath. The earth breathed through rivers, through wind, through root systems deeper than memory. And we, barely conscious creatures standing upright for the first time, began to listen. In those first silences, before thought could form words, humans understood something we have long since forgotten: that the world speaks, not in sound, but in presence. We walked through forests like cathedrals, each leaf a prayer. We gathered herbs not for recipes, but for revelation. The plants we feared, we respected. The ones we trusted, we asked permission. Among them was a green flame with 5 fingers, fragrant, earthy, humming. Cannabis. It was not consumed, it was welcomed. It did not intoxicate, it revealed. And those revelations were not always kind, because the sacred is never safe. It is not meant to make you feel better. It is meant to make you real. You light it, you inhale, you wait. The world slows. Time folds into itself like a silk scarf in water. And suddenly, something is watching you from the inside. Not a hallucination, not a fantasy. Something far older, far closer. It is you, stripped. The part of you that has always been here, but which modern life buried under noise, obligation, and habit. For some, the plant brings laughter. For others, trembling. And for many, an unease that words cannot hold. What if that anxiety isn't a side effect? What if it's a message, a signal flare from the unconscious saying, "Look at me. I am still wounded. I am still waiting." Carl Jung called this the shadow. Not evil, not dangerous, just forgotten. And cannabis, like a mirror made of mist, shows it to you, not to hurt you, but to offer a chance to heal, to witness, to finally see. But only if you're willing, because unlike the distractions we're used to, this plant doesn't let you scroll past the truth. It invites you into it, and once inside, you are changed, even if you pretend not to be. Long before the recreational, before the dispensaries and Netflix specials, before the culture turned the sacred into a brand, there were temples. In Varanasi, ash-covered ascetics chanted to Shiva as clouds of smoke rose toward the sky, not as a drug, but as devotion. In the mountains of China, Taoist alchemists brewed elixirs, cannabis among them, seeking not escape, but harmony between inner and outer worlds. In desert Sufi gatherings, hashish was shared in silence, followed by ecstatic poems, words that were not written, but received. Even in Jamaica, where ganja is seen today as rebellion, the Rastas knew it as wisdom, not a high, a sacrament. Smoked only in reasonings, spiritual conversations, laced with scripture and silence. And across the Atlantic, in the depth of Africa and the heart of the Amazon, indigenous ceremonies never spoke of getting high. They spoke of getting home. Cannabis was used in funeral rites, in births, in the crossings between worlds. It wasn't about the plant. It was about the ritual, the prayer, the why. Today, we ask how to consume. The ancients asked who they would become once consumed. That question changes everything. The danger isn't in the smoke, it's in what the smoke hides. Many believe they are evolving because they feel something new. But sensation is not transformation. Insight is not integration. Peace is not presence. There is a stillness that is deep and rooted. And there is a stillness that is just dissociation, numbness with a smile. Cannabis can open doors, but not all who walk through them return. Some get lost in dreams, in ideas, in visions that never leave the realm of imagination. They speak of unity, of higher states, of vibrational shifts. And yet, they still rage at traffic, avoid discomfort, scroll through lives they're too afraid to live. This is what Kabbalists warned of, what yogis named as siddhis, what occultists feared as the false light, a spiritual ego more dangerous than the ordinary one because it hides behind incense and hashtags. The plant does not cause this, but it can enable it because cannabis doesn't judge. It simply amplifies, and what it amplifies is you. So if you are shallow, it will deepen your illusions. If you are ready, it will strip you bare, and only then, maybe, begin the real journey. In the end, the plant does not lead you to God, it leads you to yourself. And if you are willing, truly willing, that is the same thing. But to walk that path, you must ask not what the plant is, but what you are. Are you grounded? Are you humble? Are you prepared to see without filters? Because the sacred does not bloom in chaos. It blooms in containers. And if there is no container around you, no ritual, no lineage, no guide, then you must become the container. The temple is not outside. It is your body, your breath, your silence before the flame.